Wind is blowing across the plains into northern Indiana, South Bend to be exact, where today the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the defending national champs, are greening it out the day before St. Patrick's Day, with Michigan out of the Big Ten coming to town. Last opportunity at a conference for the Wolverines before they begin Big Ten play next week. Well, the bagpipes welcome us in, Q, as they always do when Notre Dame plays. Quint, Kessenich, Chris Cotter, and Q. As we always talk about with the bagpipes, we also talk about the Kavanaugh brothers whenever Notre Dame plays, and rightfully so. But let's not sleep on this midfield either. They're very talented and very productive.
I think Notre Dame's first two midfields may be the separator long-term when you consider teams like Duke and Virginia. And what separates this group in my eyes is you got three talented players. They all have different skill sets. Talk about freshman Jordan Faison. This guy was a slot receiver for the football team. He can move. Great change of direction. He's from Florida. He can slash and get to the net, and his shooting has been on point. Jordan Faison's got 10 goals. That's a good look at Eric Dobson. Again, another Floridian, left-handed, power and range. He's more of a home run hitter. So the combination, the size and the speed of Dobson, the agility of Faison makes that group effective.
Throw in Devin McClain, the transfer from Brown on that first midfield line, plus Walker, Seymour, Gray, Finley, Angrick, a whole bunch on the second unit. They are deep. Now, when you talk about Michigan, they're also getting great production out of their attack unit, but they need more from the midfield. They've gotten it recently from Christian Ronda, who was the grad transfer from Princeton in the offseason. He had a big game last week against Harvard.
Help me, Ronda. 4 goals last week against the Crimson. The Princeton transfer, two-handed with wheels. Got a sudden change of direction. He can go left, he can go right. I like his shot from about 12 yards and in. He's an igniter, he's a catalyst. He's also seasoned. This is a Michigan team last year that played in the quarterfinals. Ronda, a lot of experience.
Michigan gets a shot in the arm as you see Ronda's numbers with Bo Lockwood back in the lineup. He missed last week's loss against Harvard with an injury, and he's really, as you describe him oftentimes, Q, the party starter. He's the one on offense that distributes the rock, gets everybody else involved. So they'll welcome back 2 in white. And there he is, Bo Lockwood back in action on what they call the maze line. At Michigan, it's the maze line and the blue line. They're 2 midfield lines.
Cotter, they told us they were going to wear their maize jerseys. Thought this was going to be maize and green. Not the case.
Really deked us. They deked us on that one, going with the classic whites, which I appreciate given the fact that Notre Dame's in all green with St. Patrick's Day weekend upon us. Face-off won by Michigan, first possession to the Wolverines. That's going to be a big battle today. 2 of the top 10 face-off men in the country, in Will Lynch and Justin Wheatfeld for Notre Dame and Michigan respectively. First win in that battle goes to Wheatfeld. We've done 2 or 3 games this year at Notre Dame. We always do a bunch every year, but the crowds seem to grow even every year. When you're the defending national champs, obviously a lot of people want to come out and see what the big deal is all about, and expect another huge crowd today here at Arlotta. Tiernan, the nation's leader in goals per game, 44 in white, can't get an opening. That's Ronda. Defense comes out to check him. Now over to Ryan Cohen. This attack unit with Tiernan, Cohen, and Boehm is lethal. Lockwood sets a pick, comes off it. Now loose ball. This is where Notre Dame is so dangerous, picking up ground balls in the middle of the field, and Ben Ramsey picks up another one. Now he gets tripped up. No call. It's going to go back over to Michigan.
Wow, no call. You see the fans hovering and surrounding this field. Notre Dame has done a terrific job in the community, okay? As their program has ascended up in the last 30 years, so has lacrosse in the state of Indiana.
Cohen on the run, shoots wide.
Cohen
First look
and
at
Boehm.
Liam Entenmann in cage 44. Lockwood runs into a defender, gets it up top. Shot. That looked like it hit the pipe. And we're going to get an inside the crease violation here against Michigan. Good scoring opportunity for Ronda. I think he hit the pipe before he stepped in the crease.
It's nice offensive flow by Michigan. This is a team that they've been a little inconsistent on both ends, quite frankly. On their good days, I think it's a group that can score. Cohen and Bain, the main igniters. Tiernan, the great finisher.
Michigan team coming in 5-2, wins over Marquette and Delaware, losses to Harvard at Virginia. Harvard last week. Virginia, second weekend of the season. Here's Dobson on the run. Wants to get that left hand free. Instead, he dishes it off, but he's going to get a warning call.
Wow, that's a lot of beef. Him and Bo Pedersen. Pedersen goes 6'4", 210.
Michigan tries to go quickly. Look at Ensign coming out of the cage. Aggressively igniting the fast break. Kavanaugh.
And that's where his game has really elevated Liam Entenmann in clearing passes, defensive leadership, and making ground ball plays around the crease.
Here's Faison. Loses his footing. Now gets it back. Back up to Dobson. We're going to get a delayed call here against Michigan. Kavanaugh wants to take advantage. He shoots wide. Let's get the call now from our officials. First flag of the day.
Staying out of the penalty box is a major point of emphasis for Kevin Connery and Michigan. This extra man unit, in my eyes, one of the best I have seen in the last decade. Here's the foul. Gahal Roberts.
Tripping call, but boy, that's tough. That might be maybe a push in the back, but
good luck stopping this group, Cotter. This extra man group has been on fire, and it looks like Michigan's going to throw some junk at him right away. Left side of your screen, Pedersen shutting off a Kavanaugh.
Far and away the #1 man-up unit in the country. Dobson thought about it. Richard Ellie is in there. That's him right there. He just camps out right there. GLE right on the crease.
I like the strategy by Michigan. Yeah, I like the strategy by Michigan, though.
Dobson unleashes that left, and Taylor is up to the task. Notre Dame wins the race, still 21 seconds left, man up, but Hunter Taylor gets his first big save of the day.
If you play this group straight up, they're going to find the alleys, they're going to find the seams, and it's all slam dunks and layups.
Taylor makes another save, goes out and gets it. Michigan loses it, though, another turnover. That's their 4th turnover of the game so far. Will this one come back to haunt them? It does. The Irish strike first. I believe that will be man up as Chris Kavanaugh, who's red hot of late, finds the back of the net. That was just as the clock was winding down on the penalty.
The details will kill you in big games. Michigan with too many turnovers early. Irish thrive in chaos.
Want to welcome those of you who are just joining us. Chris Cotter and Quint Kessenich with you at Arlotta Stadium in South Bend. Notre Dame and Michigan just underway, about 4+ minutes. Notre Dame striking first. Michigan took a penalty, and the Irish, right at the end of that 1-minute man up, was able to score with Chris Kavanaugh beating Hunter Taylor after Taylor made a couple of nice saves for Michigan. So the defending national champion Notre Dame Fighting Irish on top here early. And winning battles in the middle of the field, that is textbook Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
It's a big game between an ACC and Big Ten rivals, Midwestern rivals, both quarterfinalists a year ago. You sense the spirit from this great crowd here. The energy on the field has been intense.
Let's not forget, too, Michigan defending Big Ten champs. They faced must-win games all last spring at the end of the regular season and into the Big Ten championship. Needed to win it to go dancing, and they did. Beautiful passing, and Taylor just can't finish it. Tried to soft shoe that one a bit.
You don't see that very often. Jake Taylor, typically money in the bank from the inside. A graduate student from Denver, Colorado. Perhaps the best pure crease attackman in the nation.
Still 33 seconds to shoot for the Irish, so plenty of time. Pat Kavanaugh working on a shorty. He wants to take advantage of this matchup. Unfortunately, he lost his footing, though. Fell into the crease. He can't believe it. It's a turnover. That's a beautiful ride, though, as he almost got possession back. That is what he does as well, or maybe better than anybody else in the country, Q.
There's a great lesson there, Cotter, for young players. You make a mistake, you step in the crease, no big deal. It's the next play that matters. These guys are able to hit that reset button immediately and hunt the ball back for their team. Gotta love that trait.
Michigan is able to clear it just in time. Got to get that ball past the midfield line with the shot clock at 60 seconds. So when you get possession, the clock is at 80. Got to get it past that midfield line by the time the shot clock winds down to 60. So Michigan now putting it in play. Little give and go, didn't work out. Another turnover. Michigan's been real sloppy with the ball here early. Haven't really had very many great scoring opportunities. Just the one by Christian Ronda, and that was a while ago.
Michigan coming off a loss to Harvard last week. A game they, probably should have won. They lost because they shot the ball poorly. 2 of 25 in the first half. Missed the goal 35 times. In my eyes, Cotter, they're an inch away from being really good. Just got to clean up some areas of their game.
And we mentioned in the open, this would be a huge on-ramp for them if they could get a win here on the road against Notre Dame, because it just gets tougher and tougher going into Big Ten play. They've got Maryland and Ann Arbor next Saturday. Back to Cohen. Comes upfield. Tiernan. 44. Stoned by 44. Hensman makes the save.
Great approach on that shooter by Marco Napolitano. The assassin gets his hands on Tiernan.
Man, a lot of turnovers back and forth in the middle of the field here today. Now we're going to get a flag. This is probably going to be a slash against Notre Dame. So Michigan will go man up.
This game's got a pace that's a little herky-jerky, right?
Yeah, there's no flow at all to it. And Notre Dame's lone goal, the lone goal in this game, came man up.
A lot of the confrontations right now being won by the defensive players.
Ronda trying to dodge. Aronson had a look, shut it high. 39 seconds still on the shot clock for Michigan.
13, 1 minute, trip.
With the penalty, it'd be a fresh 60, and it's a tripping call, so it's 1 minute.
Here's the call, Taylor. I mean, that Kevin Corrigan, head coach of Notre Dame's got to live with some of those penalties. They're going to happen. The Kavanaughs, they hunt you. Taylor in riding, he'll hunt you. And so you got to find the balance with playing with two hands on your stick. But that comes with the territory. Got to defend this one inside out. Find big 44. He is lethal from the slot area. Tiernan.
You see he's on the top part of the slot as Lockwood steps in. That's Bame. Ronda. Aronson back up to Ronda. Nice catch. You see 44 just dancing in the front there. Now he gets it inside, back outside. Bame, good ball movement, score! Wow. Cohen finished it. That was tic-tac-toe and a thing of beauty by Michigan.
They take a page from Notre Dame's extra man offense and they execute. You talk about passing, count them. Into the hub man. Tiernan, normally the shooter, kicks it up top. Down low, one more. Turn and rake. They're not all clones.
Yeah, McClain, a two-time All-Ivy selection when he was at Brown, grad transfer, now at ND, and Wheatfeld wins it back to a teammate. Going to keep an eye on that battle all game long. Two of the top 8 face-off men in the country statistically coming into this game. Lynch for Notre Dame, Wheatfeld for Michigan. Lynch is having a great year, 4th in the country in face-off percentage, and it's not like he's gone against slouches every week here.
Radically improved. He's now a junior. Emotional maturity, okay? Learning to deal with the losses and the wins. This is a really talented athlete. Remember, he ran first midfield in high school at Chaminade, but he's become a student of the game, doing better in the 50-50s, but he's put in the time in terms of whistle cadence, reading opponents, and film study.
Bame. Over to Tiernan. You can see Tiernan's size. That one gets deflected. He's a big fella, 6'3", over 200 pounds, transferring from Lehigh. Prolific scorer at Lehigh, and he's carried that into this year with Michigan. Here's Bain. Lockwood, check that. Bo Lockwood back in the lineup this week after being out last week with an injury against Harvard. Skip pass all the way across. Good looking pass. Shot. Mulholland's shot just goes wide.
That's what Lockwood offers. He is a passer. His eyes will be up. He can play midfield or attack.
He's got to make something happen here instead. Oh, he does get in front, and Tiernan gets a shot off and scores. I thought Lockwood was going to dump it in the corner with just 2 seconds left on the shot clock, Q. Instead, to your point, perfectly made. His head was up. He found 44 on the doorstep, and Michigan takes the lead.
It's a little set play off the restart. Watch Tiernan, loops, fish hook. You cut the crease, you loop, and you cut it outside in a fish hook. It's a spot feed to space. Tiernan turns, ball's in his pocket. It's a one-touch. It's really well done. Out-of-bounds plays can get you a goal or two every game. Every team, every men's team should have some set pieces off of end-line restarts.
Justin Tiernan came into the game leading the country in goals per game at 4. Just picked up his first today, and it gives Michigan here the early lead at the 5-minute mark of this first quarter. That's going to stay with Michigan. You know, a lot's going to have to ride on these wings for Michigan. You know, when you think about it, because not only is it going to be the face-off man, but in terms of Wheatfeld, but Notre Dame is so good picking up ground balls off the wings on face-offs.
Will Donovan, 81, will take the majority of the shifts. When he gets tired, they'll bring in the bagpiper, Ross Bergmaster.
Michigan with excellent ball movement here. Now they're settling in a little bit. A lot of turnovers in the early going, Q, but it looks like they're getting into a little bit of an offensive rhythm. Bain coming to the middle of the field. Can't get his left hand free. That pass just whistles past the stick of Justin Tiernan. Chased down by Aronson. 22 in white, one of the team captains, gets it up top to Ronda.
Notre Dame typically a help-oriented defense. Historically, they make great slide decisions.
Lockwood trying to split the defender. Can't get it done. Tried to get it back to Ronda, who can't save it. Sixth turnover of this first quarter for Michigan.
Sean Light and company do a nice job there. The initial pick gave Michigan the advantage, but they recovered, cleaned it up. Sean Light is a talent, 90 in green today, only a freshman.
Irish get it cleared with face on, 14.
Drawing the pole.
Yeah, drawing a pole, which is, you know, so Dobson doesn't have a pole. It's interesting. The All-American, here he is, 8 in green, playing against a shorty. And he wants to get to his left with pace. Here's face on. He shoots and scores! Q, we were talking all week long. The spotlight just grows in intensity on 14 in green with every passing week. The lacrosse world is abuzz with this MVP of the Sun Bowl as a wide receiver last year with 5 catches and a touchdown. Now he's scoring goals this spring.
He's got unusual separation speed. Watch it, left to right split dodge. He plants with that left foot, and boom, he's gone. He's got clearance on that defender. What has surprised me most has been his shooting efficiency this season. He comes into this game with 10 goals, shooting almost 50% on the year as a freshman midfielder, Cotter. That is unheard of.
Face-off won that time by Hagstrom. You'll see Colin Hagstrom spelling Lynch every now and then, as he does here, and he wins a big face-off for the Irish, and they get a timeout. Look at his teammates.
Nice 1-2 punch with Lynch and Hagstrom. But getting back to the Notre Dame midfield, who do you poll, okay? Michigan feels confident that Bo Pedersen can handle Dobson, and they're going to try to poll face on. But when you get switched and you lose that sock in the wash, so to speak, next thing you know, Faison's on a shorty, and you got problems. You got to double team Jordan Faison.
Garnsey is an assistant on this team as well.
Woj just got the fresh cut, too. Coach Wellner always looking fly on the bench.
Yep. That's going to be too good of an opportunity. I mean, you're not going to be able to give this kid, Pat Cavanaugh, that kind of room and expect to be able to stop that shot. Irish back on top.
Week 1, Michigan really struggled at Virginia in the pick game. And here it is. One of the fundamentals of playing defense now in women's or men's lacrosse, high school, college, I don't care. You've got to be able to play the pick and roll game to a level that it doesn't tax your defense. That's just too easy. A clean pick set, no switch.
Notre Dame back to Hagstrom. He loses it. Michigan fires it quickly with Bame. Right off the draw, Wheatfeld found Bame on the doorstep, and they get it right back.
And the book on Wheatfeld is he likes to go out the front side. He's a senior now. Captain. Facing off at about 65% this season after 62% a year ago. Notre Dame gives Bame that wing shot. That's turn and rake. Mikey Bame climbing the all-time ranks at the University of Michigan.
2 goals and 4 assists away now from becoming the all-time leaders in Michigan history in both of those categories.
Got 2 great short stick defensive midfielders in this game. 24 in green is Ben Ramsey. 89 in white is Bo Pedersen. If you play that position or you're a midfielder, watch them in this game today. Watch their posture on ball. Watch their slide dynamics. Watch their energy and impact in clearing.
Cohen coming off a big pick. Bodies colliding. Now Light comes to help out. That was John Morgan, 32, getting a lot more playing time in white for Michigan. Big kid,
got a matchup here
pounds.
now.
Yep.
See if
Michigan want, beat him on a shorty. Morgan thought about taking that shot. Comes back to the middle of the field for a better angle. Didn't have anything. Still 12 to shoot for the Wolverines. Got a turnover there. Looked like that might have been an illegal pick.
Yes.
Irish want to strike quickly. That's Nick Harris, the midi.
It's one area, Cotter, that they were so proficient at last year when they won the national title with Brian Tevlin and Quinn McCann. That early offense phase. Haven't seen it yet. Still a work in progress.
Yeah, Tevlin gave him such a two-way presence.
Yeah. Especially in the playoffs. Especially in the field. In the semis and the finals.
Bus and kill. This is that second/third midfield unit for Notre Dame. Which includes Riley Gray, who's a big dude. Taylor makes the save.
It's a good save by Taylor. I'm not sure he really saw it, but his angle play was solid. And having a second and third midfield, some people poo-poo it. And in February and March, quite honestly, you probably don't really need them. But let me tell you, when the weather heats up and you're playing in the ACC championship on 1 day's rest, or you're playing in the national championship on Memorial Day with 1 day's rest, if you can get production from your second midfield, that is a big separator.
Ronda looking to dodge off a pick. Passes it inside, try to get it to Tiernan, can't. Bo Lockwood gets it and shoots and scores! Are they going to call in the crease? They are. That's a shame. Lockwood with a fantastic goal, disallowed. He had a foot in the crease.
Patriot leads wide open, quite honestly, after Army. I think Army sits atop the bunch, but who's going to be Patriot?
Just as the horn sounds to end the first quarter.
Could it be them? Could it be Navy?
Flurry of action at the end, and
BU
we're right back where we started.
has a nice little history the last couple of years.
3 apiece.
Lafayette, vastly improved.
Very improved, yes. Bame, after another Wheatfeld face-off win to start this second quarter.
Yeah,
he's
Wheatfeld's
dominating.
a real
He's won
weapon.
6 out of 8. Yeah.
He's a pro. He's a real weapon.
Cohen on Light. Look at Light just go right through that pick by Tiernan, too. Two big bodies colliding at X.
I think watching Notre Dame slide, their help mentality in this game is most critical.
Lockwood looking for an open player. Skip pass up to the top.
Ryan
gets it
Wellmer
back to Lockwood.
Telling us they've been a little inconsistent, leaving some shorties on an island. They don't want to slide as much today, he said.
Aronson comes off a pick. Hit Conlon on him. Up top, see, here's Cohen with a shorty on him. Skip pass through. Just gobbled up by Entenmann.
Ball
Loose
kicks
in the middle
high
of the
up.
field here.
Yeah.
Oof.
When it comes down off a player or the post, it's going to have backspin on it. It's a nice defensive
Shot
possession.
clock violation. Yeah, no one got possession of that ball. The shot clock just wound down while it was spinning and zooming all over the place in the middle of the field. Notre Dame gets possession back, fresh 80.
May have numbers.
Dobson. Here's McLean. Haven't mentioned him much yet today.
He had the big day against Maryland, right?
Yeah. Kavanaugh, good pass. Couldn't finish though. Chris gets it back. Lots of time to shoot. No panic. Good look. That time McLean got right on the doorstep. Kavanaugh saw him. Irish back in front.
Starts with a pick. Watch how savvy McLean is off of this two-man action. He gets to X, sets a pick, oop, slips it. Defense confused, parks himself in front, layup. McLean is ultra savvy.
Comes from a big-time lacrosse family, too. Q's dad played at Penn. He's got a brother currently at Brown, another one at Duke. Busy weekends for the McLean family. Set that travel itinerary. Hagstrom wins it. Pat Kavanaugh here. Thought he might try to take Whitney right to the cage. He had an angle. Try and get some leverage, but instead opted to bring it back out. Second midfield unit for the Irish. Look at the size of Riley Gray and then Jalen Seymour. I mean, these are two big dudes. That shot wide.
Both of these teams and Duke, in my eyes, won the transfer portal. And a lot of it has to do with the one-year graduate programs that they can offer. Cahal Roberts, Bo Pedersen coming over to Michigan with Christian Ronda.
Bussenkill shoots and scores. Max Bussenkill is 4th of the year. The sophomore from Garnet Valley, PA, extends the Irish advantage.
These goals are giant. These goals are culture builders. They're team builders. They improve your practice from Monday to Friday because you give a guy who hasn't been getting very many runs a chance to run with the second midfield, and he produces. What does that tell the rest of the team? If I show up and have a great week of practice, coach will put me in. I matter. I can be a contributor. And that's a juice goal for this bench.
Don't be surprised if we see as many as 9 different midfielders playing in this game for the Irish, and that's a perfect example. Now they're heating up at the face-off dot, and I feel like 51 knows it. Thought he took a shot from Whitney in the face mask, didn't get a call. Field tilted in this second quarter in this direction.
Thought it was funny when I asked Ryan Wellner what's the temperature of the Kavanaugh brothers. He said hot and getting hotter.
And I think it is in this game too. Look at that shot on the run by Faison, but gobbled up by Taylor. Looking for an outlet, found it in Clay, but he lost it. Relentless ride picked up by Kavanaugh. If there's a loose ball on the ride, 50 or 51 is going to pick it up.
Hockey background, forechecking, part of the game. They just don't relax. They don't give up any real estate for free.
Much to the benefit of City Lax is, oh boy, there's that lefty Dobson.
You're seeing the formula for Irish success. Why they won a national championship. Why, in my eyes, they are the prime contender with the Duke Blue Devils. The ride, extra possession, defense suddenly tired. Dobson, he can win any matchup. Too big, too strong, gets to the middle, high heat.
One of the best shooters on the run, Q, on the move that I can remember seeing with that left.
Yeah, I love the fact that he pushes back towards the middle to increase his angle. It gives him the ability, Cotter, to shoot near side or far side.
Michigan needs a timeout. Irish doubling up the Wolverines. Notre Dame, and you see the Irish. We talked about it all day, and for good reason. The midfield is responsible for 5 of Notre Dame's 6 goals.
You think about nationally, there are some great attacks this year at Virginia and Duke, Cornell, but for my money, Notre Dame's stable of midfielders. That's the first group and the second group, plus now even a third. That could be the thing that swings this thing in their favor, and you're seeing it today. 5 of 6 goals from the midfield.
Notre Dame's on this run, too, because they're winning more faceoffs. They've got Hagstrom now going up against Wheatfield, and Hagstrom's 1-2 out of the 5 he's taken. Got another possession here, but a good trail check gets it back to Michigan. And he gets tripped up.
Wow, refs letting him play.
That's Stansel.
Nice save by Stansel after he got tripped up with no call. Turnovers have been,
yeah, huge.
the Achilles heel. 10 turnovers by Michigan. They had 5 early, then they cleaned it up there, and now all of a sudden the turnover bug has resurfaced.
Now they need to settle in offensively, as they had a little bit of a run there where we felt like the ball movement was good. They weren't rushing shots. Need to take advantage of that again. That'll help. Oh boy, Entenmann makes the save.
This one he grabs almost. This one had him beat, and at the last second he gets a stick on it. It was a force feed to the crease. I think it was Tiernan from close range.
Yes.
This is reflexes. Unbelievable stop by Entenmann. We were talking about Liam.
Yeah, it's his wheelhouse.
Has so much experience. You know, his numbers right now at low 50s, comes into this game maybe at 52%. It's a little below what he was a year ago. I think he'll heat up in April and May. And in fact, I'm sure of it. He knows what that finish line is.
Talking to Coach Wellner about him, too. He said he totally changed his body type coming into this year. He's just in much better shape, physically more mature, much better out of the crease now in terms of setting up the clearing game. Good help defense that time. Dislodges the ball. Now it's loose in front. Picked up by Taylor. Taylor with just that one scoring opportunity early that he failed to convert on. Haven't heard much from him.
Feels like Michigan is face guarding him inside, and they're hesitant to slide off of number 13. Oh, they just slid off of him.
Physical play picked up by the Wolverines. And Carson Billig will scoop it up, get it into the stick of Bo Loughlin.
The book on scoring against Notre Dame is you got to find ways outside of the 6-on-6 to beat this team. You got to score off of faceoffs. With the power play, you've got to score in transition. If they trade 6-on-6 possessions, usually the strength of Notre Dame defense is going to win out.
Ronda gets it far side, shot by Aronson, deflected by Entenmann. Well, what else is new? 44 in green, seeing it really well. Here's Cohen trying to get an Aronson screen. Condon slips it. Force pass inside, try to get it to Tiernan, and it's picked off. That's a beautiful play by Ben Ramsey. Here he comes.
Good time to go.
Up top. Dobson, extra pass, score!
Wow. How do you not love that goal? That is brilliant lacrosse. I mean, brilliant. Everybody doing their job, everybody playing with an unselfish attitude. It starts with the D. They collapse on the inside. Now here comes Ramsey. Watch him sniff this out. He's aggressive, but he's not out of control. Right here, he puts pressure on Ronda. They set a pick for him, nothing's going. He rolls back, draws a double, keeps it moving. Then you get one more down the side. Dobson, one more. Taylor does what he does best. Slam, dunk. Awesome, awesome goal.
Lynch is back in for the Irish. The battle Wheatfield, now loose ball in the middle. Picked up by Notre Dame. And an outstanding job getting it to Donovan.
They are bringing the heat on all these loose balls. They are playing with great energy, great emotion, a sense of urgency on every ground ball. I think a lot of that comes from the Kavanaughs, quite honestly. When your two leaders set that kind of tone, everybody else follows.
Yeah, I was mentioning it before. Every ground ball either Pat or Chris Kavanaugh pick up, they'll themselves will donate $10 to CityLax. So they've got a great charity thing going. Our old friend Eamon McEnany's charity, CityLax.
I need to make a contribution. I stole a right down Charles Street line yesterday. I think I should make a $10 contribution every time I steal a name.
What a beautiful lacrosse. Face on the recipient. All he had to do was dunk it home.
Timeout time for Michigan. 3-3 game has spiraled out of control. And this is another wrinkle to Jordan's game. A cut. He's on the far post. The eyes of the defense are staring at the two-man game. Stepping upfield to press Kavanaugh. Look at the look away feed right on the money. One touch. Beautiful
Michigan's
lacrosse.
out of timeouts, Q. I mean, remember they used one with the challenge, the unsuccessful challenge. They're out of timeouts as this half is spiraling out of control.
They need one.
Five goals in the last 6 minutes for the Irish.
This is where in football the nose tackle would all of a sudden get a hamstring cramp and be lying on the field, and you get that extra timeout.
Right, drop like a sack of potatoes. Just to give you a minute to regroup, because again, off the face-off, possession to Notre Dame. And it
so they lost the timeout on that replay review. Coming out of the quarter break, one that was really kind of frivolous. You could clearly see the foot was in the crease.
And it is a 6-minute scoring drought for Michigan, where Notre Dame has scored 5, make it 6. It has become make it, take it now for the Irish.
They can sense it, huh? Pass down, pick down. Right-handed. That's Chris, the younger of the Kavanaughs. Two-handed cradle through pressure. Strong, assertive. Shoots through that defender like he's not even there. Kavanaugh comes into this game, Cotter, shooting 47% on the season.
Coming off, he's had some games where he's been really quiet this year too, and he's coming off a big one last week against Ohio State. To Wellner's point, they're hot and they're getting hotter, which is a disaster for their ACC foes as they begin ACC play next week. Actually, 2 weeks against Syracuse on the 30th.
Bye. Yeah, they got a bye week. Interesting. They start late. They give them a midseason bye. They still have one non-conference game later on against Cornell.
That one's out on Long Island next month.
You've got Cornell tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, Cornell and Princeton, Ivy League opener for those two teams. That should be a whole lot of fun. Cornell needs a big win. They got to win against Ohio State, but they need a big win. I
like their offense. Their defense is ranked 61st in the country. Let's see if Michigan can take a punch.
Tiernan can't solve Entenmann.
Great quarter by Liam Entenmann, goaltender. He's made 3 amazing stops. The grad student, Chaminade, grew up in Massapequa, got his start with the Massapequa Mud Dogs rec program on the island. It's where it all starts. Community-based rec programs feed everything.
Here's Dobson. Runs by his short stick defender, loses his footing. And we got a loose ball in front. Dangerous here. His face-on tried to pick it up, didn't have a good angle on it. Irish still keep it though. So now Notre Dame wants a timeout.
Practice, and they have ramped up their game. You're seeing the urgency, you're seeing the intensity on the ground balls. The defense is tightening up. They're getting more depth of scoring.
Here's Pat trying to work through traffic in front. Far side with face on. To his left, shoots. Oh, he scores. Wow.
He can't miss right now. Unbelievable.
Coming back with his left like that, Q.
Coming back with his left. Kid's from Florida, played slot receiver for the football team this year. He's recruited as a lacrosse athlete, but he wants to play both. He will continue to play both. He's going to be talked about on the football field as a draftable prospect when this is all said and done. He's got a certain quiet confidence, and he showed up first week, good. Second week, better. Third week, got to put him in the top line. And here he is. Lefty, righty, inside, outside, the separation, quickness. And Coach Wellner telling us that in the locker room, he's starting to become more of a personality. Quiet and humble. Guys didn't really know him because he played football all fall.
Yeah, I mean, quintessential earned, not given. You hear that cliche all the time, and that is really coming to, face-ons like the embodiment of that. Turnover against the Irish. So Michigan, Notre Dame has scored on 5 straight shots and 7 straight goals now in the last 8.5 minutes of this game. 5 straight shots.
Michigan being out of timeouts really cost them.
See if Mikey Boehm and company can get something going here. That's a start, but can't quite get it past Entenmann.
Entenmann's locked the door. He has thrown away the key.
Good ride by the Wolverines, though. Boehm gets it back, but is he going to be guilty of an infraction here? Looks like it's going to be a loose ball.
Nick Harris, got hammered from behind. Harris, 77 in green. Watch him scrapping and hustling. Clean, watch this. Not clean.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, Lockwood, they got you on that. You can't escape that one in the middle, right in the middle of the field. The Irish up 7. That's going to be an illegal pick.
Moving pick against 10 in green, Will Angrick. Again, Michigan struggling with those picks behind the goal. A problem that cost them dearly against the pretty boy Virginia Cavaliers.
Pedersen on the punt return.
Don't worry about the score right now if you're Michigan. Just run your offense. Stick to what you do. Don't play the scoreboard.
Scoreless here in this second quarter, where Entenmann's made 4 saves. Lockwood working on Light. Help comes, that leaves Tiernan open, and he scores.
That is something special from Bo Lockwood. Behind the net, little finalizer. Ryan Powell style. Get to X, change directions, whoop, come back underneath, little swim move. Defense doubles, there's no rotation. Tiernan, slam it home.
What a great pass. He got hammered here.
Oh, no, the dodge and then the pass. And this is where Tiernan's going to make a living. Look at him. Scintillating, pegs the corner.
Yeah, Intimate had beaten him a couple of times at point-blank range in that second quarter, and Tiernan wasn't going to be denied on that shot. Face-off won by Michigan. This is where they can get make some hay at the face-off dot. They're going to have to. That time it was Jackie Weller who took the draw, got the win. Now let's see if they can get 2 in a row. To your point, Q, don't look at the scoreboard. Just run your offense and see if you can get some efficiency here. Aronson. Ronda takes the shot. And that one just whistles wide, and Light wins the battle of the ball.
Ooh,
so
smart play.
The Irish with possession.
I like the step down look. Light anticipated. He's that defender on the backside, and so he gets a little bit of a head start towards the end line as that's going down.
So now an opportunity for the Irish to get one more before we hit the midpoint. Dobson in a little bit of trouble here, loses it initially. Still on the ground. Over and back to Michigan.
Clock under 60. Once they bring it over, they can't bring it back.
Michigan pick one up here. Maybe a little bit of belief in the locker room that they can make a second half run. Cohen swims. Still can't get away from Bergmaster. Ronda with a nice catch. Tried to get the shot off with his left. Couldn't do it. Instead, he went into the crease. 12 seconds for the Irish to do something here.
Take a chance now if you're Enneman. Take a chance. Kavanaugh's got to be open.
Fires it downfield. They'll have a chance here in a crease violation with the diving Taylor, it looked, and the horn sounds. So a little end-to-end action to end that first half, of the Irish with a really impressive second quarter, wresting control of this game from Michigan. 10-4 at the break.
Defensively, Liam Entum locks it up. And then you saw Team O, whether it was Taylor, Faison, Chris Kavanaugh, Dobson, McLean. Everybody's eating. Starring in their role. So nobody is trying to be the superstar. They're just letting the game come to them and performing.
Lynch and Wheatfeld back at it to start this second half. And we have something we don't see very often anymore in lacrosse, a stalemate won by the Irish.
An extended draw. I thought we legislated that out of the game.
See the great crowd on the berm on the far side. That is a staple now with Notre Dame lacrosse. They open up the gates and tell the community, come on in. Defending national champs.
Great crowds. The Georgetown game, unseasonably sunny and warm. The Maryland game.
Dobson loses his footing after the double team comes. Picked up though by the Irish. Pat Kavanaugh will stutter step. Another one.
You know, that play didn't look like much. Yeah, he sees that Dobson is in distress and kind of giddy up and helps him out by being there first to the loose ball.
Taylor has got a defender hung up. Back over to the wing. Got a feed inside, and they do, and Taylor, he wasn't going to miss that time.
Extended possession, starts with a wing dodge. Taylor kicks it out to the wing, all sorts of space. Look at, you got the whole side to work with. Defense flashes, they double team. They start ball watching. Look at all the Michigan white jerseys flowing towards the ball. Taylor's parked on the backside, and he's not going to miss from close range. Very, very talented, creative, behind the backs, twisters.
Goal, his second of the afternoon score. Number 13, Jake Taylor.
2 today for Taylor. Big battle for the loose ball. Initially came out of there, it was Michigan, but Bergmaster, and it eventually comes out of the pile with it.
Scrappy play again. This team's committed to playing hard. You know, it's interesting, after covering that game last night, there's so much emphasis. You see, Cotter, coaches put so much emphasis on the X's and the O's, the schemes, the scouting report. They need to spend more time, some teams, I believe, just playing hard for 60 minutes, regardless of what happens, regardless of tactics. You worry about tactics later, but to me, Notre Dame has committed to playing hard for 60 minutes. You can see it. They are combative in all situations.
Cohen down the alley. Ball movement to the other side. Bain. Draws a lot of attention.
Defense is packed in pretty good.
Ronda shoots too high.
I like that take. That's a good look. See how Notre Dame splits. Keep you on the perimeter and they protect the middle.
Lockwood feigns like he's going to take a pick. He gets open now. An over the head pass, flick to Cohen. Ends up going the other way with Light. Kavanaugh. Big problem here. Inside, Taylor scores.
Nice job by defender Sean Light here. You want to be sticky on the inside and slide ready. Turnover becomes an offensive opportunity. Light knows his role, so he gives it up, but he continues to step down the field and be a threat. Defense has got to respect. I'm not sure why you leave Jake Taylor open in the slot area. Kavanaugh wasn't as much of a threat. Taylor, you give him a crease, you got problems. He has got an amazing ability, hand-eye coordination to finish.
You only thought Taylor was quiet in the first quarter. And now you look up and he's got a hat trick. And Bergmaster with another ground ball in the middle of the field. Notre Dame just dominating in many aspects of this game, and that is clearly one of them.
That defensive situation for Michigan, Chris, if you leave him there, you've got to make sure that the backside defender is there and you hand him off. You can't vacate Taylor to go double the ball carrier without assurance that your second slide is there.
And now the Irish with complete control, up 8. Taylor gobbles that shot up from Kavanaugh. And look at that, Kavanaugh just harassing him.
Good hands by Taylor, sophomore from Landon in DC. Confidence soared last year.
I think Pedersen can make something happen here quickly. Well, you mentioned it earlier in this game, Q. Michigan's got to get some goals in situations other than 6v6. They got no shot 6v6, really, as we've seen.
They have one face-off goal. They have one extra man goal. 6-on-6, they've got 2 goals. I mean, that right there is a microcosm. It's going to be a penalty on Notre Dame. I'm not sure why. No, the Michigan player was falling. But running yourself into a triple team does not have a pretty ending.
It'll be a 30-second push against the Irish. Michigan will go man up.
So little shove by Ramsey right there.
Just enough to draw
does
the flag.
Michigan a favor, because that was not going to be a pretty situation.
And that may be, that's what Corrigan's probably talking about right now. Corrigan. Yeah, that's, love to see that, just coaching him up.
Surprised he didn't grab his stick and give a demo. He loves Ramsey, though. He loves Ben Ramsey.
And how could you not? All-American short stick D midi. This is a big opportunity for Michigan. Tiernan absorbs the contact. Good ball movement. Intimate. Best penalty killer is oftentimes your goaltender. Proven right there.
Yeah, you know you're going to have to rise up. When you're a netminder at this level, teams on the power play, great angle play, and just reactions. Entenmann has played his best game of the season today. He makes it look easy. Let me tell you, it's not. Turn and ready. Look at it. When Cohen catches that ball, Liam Entenmann is turned already and has got his eye on the ball in the pocket, off the lip, into his stick. He's set up and ready to explode.
Pat Cavanaugh, now he's got the shorty on him. Surveys the field and will look to attack. Pass inside, and Taylor again.
Chris Wojcik's got this offense. Yeah, he's got this offense humming. First half, it felt like it was more perimeter stuff. Second half, they're just pounding it inside. Taylor's got 3 consecutive goals. Matchup issue, Cavanaugh against the shorty. They know Michigan's going to send the double team. Taylor follows the slide. He steps down into the vacant area. Follow the slide. Keeps that in his strong right hand and buries it.
Weller beaten by Lynch. He'll shoot. Doesn't get to the cage. Is deflected high, and he'll stay with Notre Dame as it's backed up.
Feels like Michigan needs a timeout again. Again, if you're just joining us, this game was 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3 early second quarter, and it really got away from Michigan. They have not been able to get back on track. Face on. Uses a pick. Chris shoots, tough angle, shoots it high.
Heads up, you got to pay attention back there. Grassy knoll. You're in the line of fire.
Yeah, it's not all barbecues and brewskis over there. You got to keep your head on a swivel. Green brewskis today. You know, a few of those will be flowing. Skip pass, wide. Here's Chris Cavanaugh. Inside, spin move, face on. Couldn't keep possession.
It's good passing by Notre Dame.
Picks up the ground ball. Over the shoulder shot, no angle. Taylor comes out of there with it. He's in a little trouble here. Runs out of it. Now the ball's on the ground. Shovel pass and a score by Taylor.
I tell you, that offensive possession, maybe they got a little greedy. They eventually, jammed the ball inside to Faison, who's covered pretty well. But it's one cradle and a pass. And this is almost a carbon copy of Logan McNaney last week against Maryland. 2 weeks ago. If you're a goalie, you come out and you misplay or make a momentary mistake, it's death. It's a perfect mix, perfect mix. He plays his role so well, and he's got magic in his stick.
That 8 goals was his first game back. Really, seeing really any action after that ACL injury, and scored 8 goals. It's like, who's this guy? So now if you're Coach Connery in Michigan, it's really a matter of just chipping away, and you got to keep your eye on the prize, really the long term. Yeah. You think about last year, they won the Big Ten tournament, and they had to win 2 games going into that tournament and then win all of those games in that tournament to make the NCAA tournament, which they did.
And
flag down.
That's going to be their avenue into the NCAA tournament. So at this stage of this game, they want to work on their systems.
this will be an opportunity right here. Man up. They've had a strong man up all year long. Coming into this game, 5th in the country at over 56%.
Napolitano, the future med school student at USC out in LA. San Diego area, guy out of Torrey Pines. What a beautiful beach that is, Torrey Pines Beach. Got to Windy Sea Beach and La Jolla Beach last summer. Hoping to go back this year when the PLL is out west.
Right, you and me both. We were out there for the World Championships last summer. Gorgeous. 32nd man up for Michigan and Bo Lockwood. Rondo pipes it home.
You see Entenmann barking at a teammate defensively. He's not happy with the lack of rotation here. We talked about Ronda in the open. Grad transfer from Princeton. Had a little injury issue at the end of 2023, that broken collarbone, but man, he was a steady producer for the Tigers. 23 goals in 22, 21 goals in 23. Got a little bit of everything in his game. The righty-lefty combo. He can dodge, he can pass.
Hackstrom gets the win at the dot. And Parlett looking to attack. He shoots wide. Got the backup though, so possession stays with the Irish. Will Angrick in the game now for Notre Dame. Showing the depth at midfield. Max Bussenkel is in there as well. And big old Riley Grace, 6'4", 220 with the ball in his cross there. The shot turned aside by Taylor.
How'd they do
Look
it?
at that ride. That's Bussenkel too. That's not even one of the Kavanaughs. You know, it's like it permeates down the roster.
Absolutely. It's good look at Angrick now. ACL injury, missed the 2023 season. He's a junior, Georgetown prep. I think he's got a lot of upside. He's coming back to full strength.
Here's Angrick, spin, scores.
He flashed as a freshman, sidetracked as a sophomore with that injury, but it starts with the steal. Again, Notre Dame is committed to making this every exchange they challenge, whether it's a ground ball, a pass, nothing comes easy. And Angrick with a classic inside roll. Thought he flashed as a freshman. You see the big smile. Again, midfield depth, a major strength of Notre Dame. To me, a separator when you're talking about other title contenders like Duke and Virginia.
And you could see by his teammates' reaction on the sideline, they appreciate the work Angrick does day in and day out in practice, getting some opportunity, getting some run, getting the second goal of the year. Pedersen. Trail check. We're going to get a timeout before we do. Pedersen was in trouble. Connery knew it, called the timeout. Number of Michigan players and the impact they're making on this team. I mean, just from this team right here, you've got Bo Lockwood, you got Rowan Clay, an LSM, you got John Morgan, some Grand Rapids. You got a bunch of Michigan guys that are staying home. And as lacrosse is getting better throughout the country, these kids want to play for Michigan.
You know, Carson Billig, Nick Lauterbach, more than a handful now. That wasn't always the case.
Aronson shoots, bounces it high. Lockwood tried to force it through the trees, and Light is just Too much length.
He's had a good game, Sean Light, hasn't he? It's really flashed
Really
today.
has.
You see his improvement from week to week. Super raw. I remember that first Georgetown game that we covered with him. The first play of the game, he runs the ball down the field, holding the ball like it's a pizza on a pizza flipper, and gooses it to an attackman. You see his evolution today, the way he carried into the offensive zone with confidence. These young guys, man, they can improve dramatically.
Freshman at Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Coach Wellner. Oh, bounces in.
That was a feed
That one
to
had some
Taylor.
English in it.
This is a little spot feed to Taylor. Watch this. You talk about trust and a relationship, and I believe that's the 5th consecutive goal from Jake Taylor. Watch this feed, Cotter. This is eye-to-eye contact between two teammates. Low catch and finish. Again, everything's done right-handed. Who needs a left hand? Kark didn't have one. Jake Taylor doesn't either.
How about Taylor, the quick hands? I mean, to go down and catch that pass, and in one motion, bring it back up to beat Taylor.
Taylor approaching that 8-goal threshold that he hit against Syracuse back in 2022.
And was scoreless in the first quarter. Pedersen. Stancil. Way up in the air. Flag down. We might get another one here.
Yeah, this is going to be a slash call against one of the Kavanaughs during the ride. This is just who Notre Dame is. Comes with the territory. It's a one-handed swing during the clear, though. That's going to get called. They bring it, you know? They bring it. And Coach Corrigan, I credit the Kavanaughs for the effort they bring to the table every game. Right there. Back check with one hand. It's going to draw.
One-armed
Anytime you put one hand on the stick, you got problems.
Right. It's like that's an old adage in the game.
Ryder Garnsey.
Nope. Ryder Garnsey there.
Wearing the visor. Looks like an SEC football coach.
Eschewing the high and tight mantra of Wojcik and Wellner as far as the hair cutting goes.
He's still got hair. That's a differentiating factor.
Woj is like, Woj would wear that if he could. Surprised he doesn't have the the mullet on the back of the hat like we've seen in the day.
I like their staff a lot. Good restaurant recommendations when we're in South Bend.
Absolutely, gotta have them too.
Entenmann's been on fire all day. This is the best he's looked this year by far.
Still 30 seconds, man up for Michigan. Lockwood, no look pass, extra pass. Aronson can't beat him again.
I think Conlon may have gotten a little bit of a trail check there, 20 and green.
Wolverines have got to be asking themselves, what do we need to do here? Aronson, denied!
How does that not go in? Did he fumble and bumble that, or was that a save? Because to his credit, he worked so hard to stay with those fakes. Again, putting pressure on the shooter. I'm not going to give you anything easy. I'm going to challenge everything. Conlon helps him out a little bit as a trail checker. But look at Liam fighting and working and tracking the ball and fighting and working. And eventually it just kind of pops out of the stick of the shooter.
I thought Aronson could have just shot it, and maybe now Entenmann's in his head. Because for the second time in a row, he had it right on the doorstep. I thought he could have just dunked that in without any of the fakes.
The more fakes you can force an offensive player to make, the time is on your side, okay? Because the window changes there. Defense can maybe make a trail check. And the more fakes the guy makes, more that ball's rattling around in his stick, and you never know what happens. Just
well
great
saved
hustle.
Now for Entenmann.
It's great hustle by the goalie.
Sounded like he got a little help on that one as Mulholland put a charge into it.
Sean Light with another run out. He's got multiple run outs today. Doesn't show up on the score sheet. I wish it did, because it's a turnover created by winning the run out. Think about Matt Reese, who played for the Chaos one summer, had like 6 runouts in one game. And the way that changes the dynamic of any lacrosse game when your defenders are winning all those runouts.
Chris Cavanaugh will allow this clock to tick down to a minute in this third quarter. Game that was tied at 3 apiece after 1 has been dominated by Notre Dame since. Pat over the shoulder, then behind the back by Taylor. Well, now they're just showing off, Q.
Sports Center top 10 plays. BTB squared. Whoop. Whoop. Functionally creative. That's what I love about it. Cavanaugh senses the front side pressure. Taylor using deception to beat the goaltender.
Seven goals on 8 shots for Jake Taylor.
They're saying Sports Center top 10.
He owns the single game record of 8 goals in a game that he set a couple of years ago, and he's threatening that mark right here. Houlihan thought about taking the shot. He's being harassed by Ben Ramsey. Thought better of it. Now Morgan, one of those Michigan kids, 32 in white. Dad was a football player at Michigan. Mom was a cheerleader at Notre Dame. Mulholland inside to Morgan. Mulholland again. That pass bounces around as the horn sounds to end the third quarter. The Irish, defending national champions, ranked number 2 in the country and playing every bit like it. On St. Patty's weekend, clad in green and winning. Wheatfield wins the draw. And Light again in the passing lane. Disruptive. Ooh, big hit. Ball still loose. Napolitano tried to pick it up, and it's going to end up being Michigan's in the end. Maryland comes to Ann Arbor next weekend, so it goes from difficult to tough for this Michigan team, but it's the way it is when you're playing in the Big Ten. You better strap it up every single weekend because you're gonna have a battle on your hands. Bain. Pass finished by Justin Tiernan.
That's
that
the
right
bread
there has
and
been the
butter.
most effective offense. Yeah.
That's the bread and butter. That's going to be their bread and butter. You know, Lockwood and Bain and Cohen are the initiators, or Rhonda. So they got 4 decent initiators. Tiernan is such a great player inside. I mean, in this game, he's had to take a backseat to Taylor, but you know, Tiernan could be, when it's all said and done, he could lead the country in goals this year. Big target, Lehigh transfer from Huntington, Long Island. Didn't play in 2022 when he was injured, but such an inside presence. He hovers. He's got a great game sense.
You saw the graphic, his 31st goal of the year. Leads the country in goals per game coming in. Looks like that's going to continue after today. Rhonda down the alley, shoots.
Late on the hit there.
Goes down. Yeah.
Ronda got buried after the shot. I don't see a flag yet. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah.
I liked everything about this move from Christian Ronda, except the shot location. Okay, Entenmann gives you the high positioning, and he's baiting the 5-hole with that wide stance. And anything at his feet, it's going to be a relatively easy save. This time, he bounces it over the goal. I'd much prefer you shoot for net and shoot for the pipes, the left side pipe or the right side pipes.
Napolitano will sit for 60 seconds.
Shoot off the goalie's hips, less at their feet.
A couple of man-up goals already today.
Oh.
Entenmann makes the save.
Great turn. Great turn by the goaltender, pipe to pipe. It's an area of his game that has improved drastically since he was a freshman coming out of Chaminade. He's there again. Remember I mentioned it earlier how he's set and ready on those cross cage feeds. You work on this stuff all the time, and he's in position and makes a kick save with his right foot.
13 saves on the day, stopped 70% of the shots he's faced.
Putting on a clinic right now for the young goalies watching out there. He has found the level point. He's got all the traits that you look for in a goaltender, from the mind games, the tactics, the hand-eye coordination, and the explosion.
Now Michigan's quick to shut off Dobson's left. McLean on the short stick, D-Mitty. Back over to Dobson. Pat Cavanaugh against Jack Whitney. Best defender for Michigan. Tries a little twister. Taylor was right there on the pipe. Good play by Whitney to get and keep possession.
Good handle out by Michigan that time. But you see with the Cavanaughs, when they ride, they just accelerate everything you do. You got to make faster ground ball and passes for defenders, and a lot of times guys panic. That was good poise and stick skills.
Lockwood, good pass. Bounce shot. Looked like that at the far post.
Save? Kick save or post? That was an unbelievable stop if he made it.
Have to take another look at that one.
That's one of the best looks Michigan's gotten all day off of multiple passes. I think this might be a kick save, Cotter. Couldn't tell.
Yeah, I still couldn't get a good look at it. He's saving everything else. Might as well give him credit for that one. That hit the pipe. With the stick of Riley Gray.
We get an extended look at the banner hanging from the hedges. Reminds me of Princeton's banner at the 1952 stadium in New Jersey. No formal ceremony. Coach Corrigan bypassed that. He just hung it up.
Right. Yeah, right during the week.
Like one day it was just hanging
Hunter
there.
Taylor, big save.
Like one day it was just hanging there. I did see pictures of their championship rings from last year online. Shiny.
Karkin are going to be at Sherrod Field at class of 1952 stadium in Princeton tomorrow. Ivy League matchup. Got Cornell coming into town.
That should be fun. I'm sensing a lot of goals in that game. Cornell's offense is electric. C.J. Kirst, Willem Firth, Michael Long. They got middies who can go with Hugh Kelleher, Aiden Blake. That offense is dynamic. Question is, can they play D? Can they win faceoffs?
Right. How about Burns and Kabiri too? Two freshmen for Princeton. Two of the best freshmen in the country.
Oh, with Coulter Mackessy's right-handed shot or lefty shot is as pretty a release as I have ever seen. It reminds me of like Freddie Couples hitting a golf ball. It's just silky smooth, so efficient.
Oh, that's a really nice twister right there. Aiden Mulholland.
Power power roll
He earned every
dodge.
bit of that goal.
Yeah, big power roll dodge. Watch how he uses his body here, his shoulders and his hips. And watch how he leans in and creates contact right there, spins, and finds net. Good body lean as he presses up, plants with the feet and turns to the inside. And he shoots that right out of the dodge. There's no hesitation. He didn't carry it through and let the goalie find the ball in the cross.
His body momentum added a little bit of oomph to that shot. Hagstrom wins the draw. Takes the shot. That almost went in because it was such a bad shot.
Shane Carr now between the pipes, 41.
The veteran taking over in goal for Michigan. Houlihan will get it to John Morgan.
Interesting to see now. We get some extra DD middies for Notre Dame coming on the field. We got to keep our eyes peeled for 12. Tyler Buckner, Alabama quarterback, and recent addition to this Fighting Irish lacrosse team.
Napolitano picking up the loose ball.
He should get in this game. I'm shocked to still see the starters in up 10 with 8 minutes to go. I'm surprised we're not seeing a little bit of subbing going on.
Parlett showing his ability to clear it on his own. Dobson down to the far side. Nick Harris is going to track it down. You got to think Notre Dame on the offensive end is going to work on that shot clock on every possession now. Face on. Uses a stick.
A little bit of yard sale. A little bit of yard sale on St. Paddy's Day weekend in South Bend.
The Irishman, Cahal Roberts from Dublin, with the stick check and a beauty. Pedersen still out there on the offensive end. Sets a pick. Wow, on the run, Ronda.
This is a stinger. He's got an offensive midi trapped on D. Today, in my eyes, has made a statement that he's the best goalie in the country. I think coming into this game, Chris, I was still Menza. I was still trying to figure it out. But what you're seeing today is elite goaltending.
Consensus All-American, most outstanding player in Notre Dame's national championship run last year. Championship weekend.
His numbers were good coming into this game. This will bump his save percentage up. You know, it's not fun to play goal in January and February training camp outdoor practices. Like, the ball hurts a lot.
You just stand around? Too much standing around?
You stand around. The ball kills when it's 30 degrees out. It just it feels like someone's throwing grenades at your knees and your legs. And as the weather gets nicer, I've always felt that goalie performances get better. Your eyes get more in tune with your hands, the repetitions.
Well, this Irish offense is in tune. Pat Cavanaugh scores another one. The ball movement is just exquisite.
Passing, premier, precise, completely unselfish. Multiple pass goals. Double team drawn, kicks it to the wing. Defense has got to rotate. There's a soft spot, a vacancy in their zone. Recovery, they're just capitalizing on all sorts of defensive recoveries. Everybody keeping it simple. And you notice the stick work. Stick work's been great. Like, it's a fundamental, but man, when those passes are up right in that box area and it's one cradle and a pass, offensive efficiency soars. Like, the fundamentals matter at this level.
The goal to number 51, the assist to number 50, Chris.
Since that loss to Georgetown at home about a month ago, they have just put a dagger into the hearts of the Big Ten, haven't they? Consecutive wins, 3 straight wins over Maryland, Ohio State, and today they'll make it 3 over Michigan.
I don't love the fact that Notre Dame has a bye week next week.
What if you're a player? That's what I was going to ask you. If you're a player and you're feeling like, man, we are just hitting on all cylinders right now, don't you want to play somebody again right away?
I do.
Kavanaugh goes down.
Up by 10 with 6 minutes to go in the game. You got it. You got, like, I think about Dylan Malloy at Brown in that playoff game when Brown was playing Hopkins and his injury, and it potentially cost Brown a national championship. I wouldn't have the Kavanaughs in the game right now. Up 10 with 5 to go.
And the way they played, too, it's like there's no 90%. It's 100% at all times, which is what you love about them, and it's why they get banged up and play through it. But to your point, it's not necessary now.
They get the restart. So fresh shot clock.
Lost, though, and picked up. Here's Justin Ennis. Patterson. Here's Bain. Kavanaugh brothers today combined 3 goals, 10 assists, and 6 ground balls.
10 assists.
Bain gets a step on his defender, pass it inside of Tiernan. That is, again, it's patented almost. I mean, that is what Michigan does. And they once again do it well, and Tiernan ends up with another goal. That's 4 for him on the day.
He's got that Skywalker single eye face paint as well. Anakin Skywalker. Tiernan's really good at what he does. We've been treated to seeing 2 of the best crease men in the country. They know their role. Their spot is right in front of the net. And they don't have to be that open. You jam it into them. They generally keep the stick in their strong hand, and they put the ball in the frame.
Andrew Greenspan taking the draw for the Irish. Gets a nice hand from the crowd here as he wins it to himself. They get the TO. As he got in the restraining box, they did.
First midfield's been a little hit and miss at times. And I don't think they have the defensive midfield. I love Duke's defensive midfield.
Push in the back, not called. Michigan ends up with a turnover.
And we'll see. You know, still a ton of time in the season. It's middle of March.
Yeah.
Like,
haven't really even started league play.
No, it's all about, it continues to be all about improvement. Army, Denver, and Johns Hopkins returned a vast majority of their production from a year ago. And they got off to good starts. That was not surprising. But there's got to be layers and levels of development for teams if they do want to contend for league championships and the national championships. And that's about improving. You know, I saw Hopkins last night. They need to get better if they're going to be, you know, a championship weekend contender. If you stand still, you get reeled in.
A lot of teams with early season losses. I mean, we've obviously talked about Notre Dame's loss to Georgetown, but Georgetown early in the season too. I mean, kind of like last year, Georgetown has had to start over in a lot of places, lost a lot of production from last year. So Kevin Warren's team, you know they're going to get much better as the season progresses. A team like Penn State lost to Cornell. I mean, Colgate at home.
Yeah. That's fine. It's what you do with those losses.
Michigan's a man up in the creases. Another stopping goal.
Yeah, I'll be interested to watch that game tomorrow that you're calling with Clark. Cornell at Princeton. Had Yale beating Harvard today. Love the Penn defense.
Yeah, they're playing Brown this afternoon.
The league's going to be fascinating. Yale looks good. They got a strong face-off game. They're playing fast. They've dealt with some injuries. Matt Brandau's been putting up big-time points. The Ivy League projects really to be a cool race this year, and with multiple teams making the NCAA tournament. They've had a strong showing out of conference.
Getting to see some fresh faces now for both these teams. Shot clock still at 30, so plenty of time for the Irish. Will Angrick in 10. Inside scores. Fisher Finley. From Alpharetta, Georgia. Yeah.
Big Fisher. He's a Mako
No more
shark.
of an Irish name than Fisher Finley on Notre Dame.
Look at him. Towering above mere Wolverines.
6'6", 215. From Milton High School, north of Atlanta.
Those are huge positives. I mentioned it earlier. When your role players can come in and get production, man, that just makes the locker room jubilant. Everybody's important. It adds some spice to practice on a mundane Monday or Tuesday. You know, you got to have good competition. How do you improve? We talk about teams who improve. How do you improve? Well, the middle tier of your roster has to be challenging the upper tier. If you're upper tier, if they're assumed starters and they're not being pushed in practice, you're not going to get any better. That's how you get better right there. Kevin Corrigan opening his bench up and getting production.
Stop made by Alex Zepf. In net now for the Irish. And Zepf is we've been to several practices Notre Dame over the last couple of years. Definitely a team favorite. Teammates love him.
Lefty from Mineola. Again, he's one shot away from being the guy. My daughter's fourth string on varsity, and last week the second stringer got hurt, the third stringer got sick. I said, Grace, you're one shot away from being the starter on varsity. She was like, really? I'm like, yeah, one shot.
Yes.
So when you're a backup, that's got to be your mentality. Again, it's like being a football backup. You're one ugly sack away from like having to lead this team. If you're a backup goalie, take pride in that craft. You're a moment away from being in the prime time.
Jeff Ricciardelli now in the game, 0. Man-up specialist for the Irish. That's Jalen Seymour, 26. Ball goes straight up in the air, out of bounds. Turn over to Michigan.
And they're going to crush it tonight in South Bend. Happy St. Patrick's Day to the Fighting Irish. Green jerseys were the magical elixir today. This was an impressive performance.
Bain got pushed in the back. That's going to be a call against Notre Dame. Now a little pushing and shoving as Tiernan took exception to that. Bain checks in at 170, soaking wet. And Tiernan's over 200. Tiernan says, no, I don't approve of that.
Bain's a scrapper. Notre Dame checking all the boxes today. We made it through a whole game, Cotter, without a high hit today, which the players should be commended. We've seen a lot of the high cross-checking hits to the head and neck area, and we made it through a game without one of those infractions, which is
without one of those infractions, without a replay of one of those infractions, a review of it. I like that.
Yes, it's technique based.
Zepf got a piece of it, steers it aside. Stays with Michigan, 15 to shoot. Penalty was against Max Maniak, by the way. And the horn sounds to end this game, Q. What a dominant performance by Notre Dame. This game was 3-3 after one. Michigan was here for the fight on the road, but the Irish turned it on in the second half and never looked back.
Very, very impressive. This was something else.
The Irish now will have a week off before entertaining Syracuse on the 30th right here at Arlotta. Michigan will play Maryland next Saturday in Ann Arbor. For Quint, Kessenich, and our entire crew, Sláinte! Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.